Polygon is solving more solutions. Their recent accomplishment, the insurance industry. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of your Digi Hustle News. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I got some Polygon news for you. Okay. Polygon aiming to transform insurance industry with Set2. It says Polygon has joined forces with Infosys to launch Set2. The leading distributed ledger technology project says Set2 is an open source bridge designed to make it easier for enterprises to integrate Ethereum into their processes, according to a Twitter thread on April 8th. So we all know that insurance, guys, is hectic. It's a hectic business, but it's a profitable business and it's not going anywhere. And Polygon is serving to be the gateway for companies to come in and use Ethereum. Now, reading on, the global insurance industry has grown into a multi-trillion-dollar industry. The ecosystem, however, is still plagued by numerous challenges, including proper digitization process, lack of fail-proof ways of using and improving the quality of analytic data, and others. Now, in a bid to help the industry mitigate some of the aforementioned challenges and make it easier for enterprises to interoperate with Ethereum smart contracts, Polygon has joined forces with Infosys Consulting to launch Set2. According to the project's Twitter thread, Set2 will be an open source Ethereum bridge specifically made for enterprises, and the first application built on the platform is InsureChain, a solution firm claims is designed to facilitate the frictionless porting of insurance policy from one provider to another. So right there, guys, that's the sweet spot. Polygon will be used in facilitating the transfer of the previous legacy system into the blockchain. Simply put, guys, probably the reason why Polygon is pumping, has pumped, over the weekend is because now they're in the insurance game. So what's more is that the team has hinted at, in addition to facilitating the seamless porting of insurance policies, more use cases for Set2's insurance chain solution will include KYC, just know your customer, and AML, anti-money laundering processes, fraud mitigation, peer-to-peer insurance on blockchain, and more will be introduced in the coming weeks. In a quote from the team, with this announcement, Polygon solidifies our commitment to helping enterprises use public blockchains for meeting their strategic and operational objectives. Now, while there are many distributed ledger technology projects currently in existence, only a few have what it takes to solve real-world problems. And Matic, or Polygon, has been working hard to stand out from the crowd and promote global blockchain adoption. As reported by BTC Manager in early 2020, Polygon joined forces with other top DLT projects, including Eternity and Harmony, to launch a program designed to make it easier for Indian startups to integrate distributed ledger technology. Formerly known as Matic, the Layer 2 Ethereum scaling solution rebranded as Polygon in February in a bid to give projects more freedom of choice when selecting a scaling solution. Now, big news for Polygon, guys, as they, like I said, they are going to be the project solely responsible for converting the old insurance system into the next economy, thanks to Set2. So, guys, more bullish news for Matic. Okay, I really need to increase my bags. Looking forward to what else is coming out for Matic down the pipeline, guys, because they have integrations with everyone already, from Decentraland to the Theta Network. Polygon is doing it all. But that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Be sure to stick around to the end, because I'm going to show you guys what the blockchain is going to look like for the future of how we relate to the government. Okay, it's a very interesting clip. Make sure you stick around for that. But as always, guys, thanks for coming back. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Of course, you can get down at me in the comments pretty much about anything. Also, down in the link section, we got Twitter, Digit Hustle 2021, BitClout, Digit Hustle News, Library, Digit Hustle News, as well as Pipe Flare. Support independent blockchain video game developers, guys. Doesn't cost nothing to support, and you get free Dogecoin and Zcash. That won't last much longer. But with that being said, guys, I want you to have a great day. I want you to have a prosperous day. Most importantly, make that money. I'll see you in the next video.
What impact is blockchain likely to have on insurance companies?
Well, PwC did a global fintech survey, and they found that 56% of respondents recognise the importance of blockchain, but 57% are sort of unsure, and actually what seems to be the case is sort of a lack of information, lack of education, which, to be fair, is one of the reasons why we actually write Digital Bytes on a weekly basis, sharing examples and case studies of how, where and why this technology is actually being used. But in very simplistic terms, it would appear that what we've seen to date is the fintech sector has been focusing on payments and banking, and now it's beginning to turn its attention to asset management and insurance. And the likely ways we see in the insurance sector that it's going to impact is it really in two ways. At an operational level, using the technology to digitize a lot of the processes and transactions, and removing a lot of the analog paper-based systems. So making things a lot more efficient in day-to-day operations. And then secondly, we're likely to see, as an investor, insurance companies hold a lot of money which they actually invest. And it's going to impact on the way they actually hold assets, the way they trade assets, and indeed the very assets they buy, because they'll be able to have exposure to digital assets whereby they've digitized data, they've digitalized IP. So you're probably familiar with, recently Bob Dylan sold his record collection for 300, or backlog of records for $300 million. And as we see more people creating data from driving cars and the buildings that we live and work in, that data will be monetized, and that is uncorrelated potentially with other asset classes. So it's interesting, a chap called Robert Crozier at Alliance Technology, he said that leveraging blockchain can offer significant leap forward in terms of productivity, and something which the financial services industry normally struggle to actually scale. The other thing that we've seen is the World Economic Forum have developed a toolkit for organisations to help them determine how and where blockchain technology can help their organisations. But in the insurance sector, we see IFRS 17 coming into force on the 1st of January 2023. And this will present a real challenge for insurance companies, because the key, what they're trying to do is improve transparency. And this is one of the things that blockchain technology is really, really good, creating greater transparency and therefore greater trust, which should lead to lower premiums for insurance companies.
How would a future blockchain-backed insurance sector work? Even though the insurance sector is certain in our lives, it lacks the evolutions of technologies. Implementing blockchain in the insurance industry can fast-forward the growth curve to next generation. Digitized documentation. Blockchain insurance platforms can devoid physical documentation and digitize the records, which could save huge papers. Digitization of records can avoid damages from calamities and loss of data. Automated claim approvals. Insurance industries face a great hassle on processing huge claims at the time of calamities. In these scenarios, blockchain-based insurance platforms can process claims rapidly with community governance. Scheduled payments. Insurance premiums, claim approvals, and other payment processes in the industry can be scheduled with smart contract protocols. Blockchain insurance channel supports P2P transactions, and hence the process would be swift. devoid of scams. Insurance sector needs to verify the client's reputations and claims in a legitimate manner. Blockchain insurance platforms can avoid risky claim scams to a greater extent with community governance heading through consensus goal. Integrated verticals. Every person would have distinct insurance premiums for automobile, health and properties. With blockchain insurance applications, a person's entire insurance policies can be integrated and managed efficiently. Blockchain insurance platform features such as integrity, transparency, decentralization, P2P transactions, devoid of intermediaries. Scams can enhance the claim processing and consumer experience in our future generations. Let our claim processing in the hassle-packed situations be ergonomic and hassle-free with blockchain-powered insurance applications.
I got a chance to work with some people in London who were trying to disrupt the insurance space. I'll quickly give you an example of how we are doing it, and this is not futuristic, it's already happening. So the idea was very simple. If you see the current model of any business, be it insurance or banking, typically the control is in the hands of the institution that runs that business. So in the case of insurance, the problem is the Bhartiya AXAs of the world, or for that matter, the ICICI Lombards of the world, or any other insurance company, eventually they become centralized powerhouses. Now the return on investments that they make by the money that they get from people like us, from the policyholders, often goes into managing the inefficiencies of that centralized organization, and at times also filling the pockets of the stakeholders, but it seldom comes back to the policyholders like us. So what we were trying to do, we were trying to simply change this model by replacing the core insurance entity. Our idea was to make sure that one human is able to interact with another human without having to go through an intermediary, and we were using the Ethereum blockchain for this. It was simply a software program with some conditions in terms of how an insurance is done, claims assessment, underwriting, managing the investment that comes in, and eventually that was being governed by the underlying Ethereum infrastructure.